Ooh, I'm live. It says I'm live. All right. Score. I'm live. I totally pushed buttons in completely reverse order. So, as far as the topic this fine evening, gang, here's what we've got going on. Here is the big question. With all the crazy reveals that have been going on in the last couple weeks, or things that maybe you picked up recently, are you kind of rethinking what lines you're going to start picking up? Because I keep looking and I thought I had it figured out. I thought I was good to go. Then Mythic Legions decided, oh, hey, we have double jointed, well, joints now. And Tragic Hero was cool enough to send me a figure from Monster Force. And now I don't even know what my life is anymore. These things are about as photogenic as you get. So, yeah, I'm just kind of, I have to make decisions on what gets cut, what sticks around. Maybe things don't get cut and they just do things differently. I don't know. And I'm wondering if, because of how cool things are, anybody on in the chat now or anybody in the replay crew is starting to think, okay, maybe I need to switch things up a bit. So there you go. That's tonight's topic. And let's see what's going on. Star, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. Hello, Ghost Tab. Good to see you, sir. I pre-ordered the Mythcloth Ophiuchus and the Figuarts Garo. I'm already suffering from wallet voidness. The wallet is angry. You got to watch out for those wallets. They will try and stab you. They are not happy creatures. But hey, those sound like they're going to be pretty sweet figures when they show up. This is what Tragic ended up sending me. And it's crazy how cool this thing is. These Monster Force figures are about $37. You get them from BBTS just because they're in partnership with BBTS. But the details on the weapons, all those kinds of things, the paint is ridiculous all over it. Let me show you here. This is a bag that contains 14 more hands, a lot of modular pieces that can get swapped out on his vest there. So that can all happen. Blast effects, an extra gun with a big spear on the end of it almost. This stuff is just really good, and it's just kind of hard to believe for $37, which I know for some will sound like it costs quite a bit of money. But this is basically NECA. Like the price is basically the NECA price, but with way more articulation and, believe it or not, way more accessories. So I think it evens out. I almost feel like we're getting more for our money with figures like this than we are with a lot of other just regular $25 offerings. So yeah, this is cool stuff. And you guys, if you've heard me talk about it before, I don't tend to like stands. I think of them more as a cost cutting for the manufacturer, for the toy company, than I do a value add to consumers. But it's amazing what a difference just printing the name on the stand makes for me. I saw that and I'm going, I might actually use this just because. So yeah, these are good things, and things like this have me totally reconsidering what I'm doing as far as the collection goes, especially since there's so many photogenic figures out there right now. Ghost Tab, I had to cancel the Minister Force to make room. Oh, the Monster Force. Minister Force, eh? That would be an interesting line. Who's going to work on the Minister Force line, gang? Anyway, had to cancel the Monster Force to make room for the BBTS sale. Oh, yeah, that is a crazy sale they've got going on. Speaking of Mr. Hero, what is up, Dave and chat? Tragic, I was just showing off Declan there. I appreciate it again, sir. This thing is, well, I appreciate it on one hand, but my wallet hates you on the other hand. I think these will end up taking up a much larger percentage of the collection than I initially thought. Harry, there had to be a plan for collecting. Why didn't anyone tell me? See, maybe it's just the way my head works, but I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm going, there's so much. Like way back when I had my initial guidelines for what I need to pick up, what all constitutes what I think of as a photogenic figure, there weren't tons of them. Now everybody's making them. Like the exceptions are basically Hasbro and Mattel. I guess Hasbro and Mattel, if we're just talking 1/12 pretty much. Even Mattel doesn't do things in 1/12. So really the exception to photogenic figures at this point is basically Hasbro's Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series lines. Aside from that, everyone else is making photogenic 1/12 scale figures. So I don't even know, man. I don't know what my life is anymore. Spaded one. What's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in, sir. Appreciate it. Ah, back. Ghost Tab, can you swap heads between Marvel Legends and Monster Force? I want to kit bash the Forgotten King with Mr. Knight. Oh, I don't know, Ghost Tab. I've seen, what did I see? Somebody did a blade head swap with something, and I'm trying to remember if it was Monster Force. I don't know that it was. I'm honestly not sure, and he didn't come with an extra head, so I haven't tried popping the head off. Let me see here. I couldn't tell you. I also don't really have many Marvel Legends figures. Let's see. I think I've got a bunch of Street Fighter figures here, but I think the ball pegs are a lot smaller. Yeah, that's significantly smaller. You've got basically here's what I will say. I don't know about Legends, but I'm fairly confident you're not going to make many swaps happen between Street Fighter and Monster Force. At least if you try and do it without putty and all that good stuff. But yeah, if anybody else can answer that question for Ghost Tab in the chat, we'd appreciate it. Now I'm going to make Declan a little less decapitated. Maybe. Woo, my head got really close to the screen there. Good thing I plan on showing other things. All right. Now, what have we? Ghost Tab and let's see here. Star. I'm clipping loose ends in favor of doing all I can for Jada and SHF Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the Overboard Club is alive and well. Dude, yeah, Jada continues to take my money. I have several things that were in stock on order right now that I'm waiting for. Jada is kind of that one. I think I'll be able to catch up on Jada mostly, at least as far as Street Fighter is concerned, by the end of the year. Sci-Fi George, what's up, man? Howdy, everyone on this fine Operation Monster Force night. Ah, it's killing me. It's killing me. They're so good, though. Tragic, you are welcome. They're fun figures, and your picks are killer so far. Thank you, Tragic. I appreciate that, man. They are, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. I only picked up Plunderling's cheddar, nothing else. That's okay, Harry. That's okay. Are you kind of going in on Plunderlings and you just started with cheddar? Or are you like, okay, I'm done with cheddar? Thought I did just get my pile of loot though. Ooh, or though I did just get my pile of loot. Nice. What all's in there? Star Ghost Tragic Harry Spade. Sci-Fi, how are you guys? I think we're answering. We're hanging out. We're talking toys, man. That makes it a good night every night. Pure Toys Monkey Kings is finally in stock and on the way to my home. Nice. I need one of those. I'm gonna need a monkey in the collection. And right now, with everything going on that I'm looking at, I still feel like I need to get Thane. And I know he's out there. I know he's still available. So that might be a consideration. So okay, here's where I'm stumped, right? Here's what I was thinking for the Toypixx collection. Obviously, I'm doing a lot with the figures and all that stuff to try and help a lot of people with the photography. So I'm trying to be very judicious about it, but I also want everybody to feel like, hey, I've got one of those kinds of things, right? So what I was thinking earlier is, okay, the lines I'm going to really focus on are going to be catching up on the Mofex figures that I missed, catching up on the Jada figures I missed, and catching up on the 3-0 MDLX figures that I missed. So I'm working on Jada right now, not working on the others just yet. And then I thought, okay, and I'll grab a couple Action Force here and there. I'll grab, maybe something from Monster Force. I don't know. We'll see what goes on. Well, then after Mythic Legion shows the double jointed stuff, that takes care of some fantasy stuff that I know people are into. And then, like I said, once I got Declan here, I'm like, man, I needs me some Monster Force. And then, of course, there's the NECA Turtles that I have to work on. So I'm just all over the place with the collecting. So the way my brain was working was, well, okay, at least we're not talking 150 of these figures per year to collect, because that would destroy me. But I don't know. I keep trying to figure out what exactly is a really good mix. Because then once in a while an SHF Star Wars figure comes out, then I'm going, well, I need that too. It's all rough. I hope nothing else comes out that would grab my interest. I only have 2 feet to shoot myself in. Don't really need any help in the irresponsibility arena. Yeah, stinking figures that are rad. Alex Martinez, thank you for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. And hello. All right, Star, double joint Cosmic Legions. You can stop now, please. That's what I'm saying. And that's something else. If they come out with double jointed Cosmic Legions, I might be more inclined to get something like that too. And I thought when I first saw it announced, there is no way I'd even give that dragon a second thought. I've given that dragon a second thought, and a third thought, and a fourth thought, and a fifth thought. Anyway, I've thought a lot about that Mythic Legions dragon. And wow, yeah. It's going to take up a lot of space, though. Maybe I better think a little harder. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just going, okay, so what do I do now? Now, and that's kind of the question for all of you. What lines? I mean, I know it kind of turns into a focused discussion, but at the same time, do you focus or do you start cherry picking like before when it felt like there was so much and it was so overwhelming? I thought, you know what? Just stop and focus on very few lines. And then I end up with stuff where I'm like, okay, this is way too cool to not focus on this line as well. It's all insanity, basically. I pre-ordered the Wolverine Mezco. It looks awesome. That is a good-looking Mezco. I think they got the hue face pretty good, and sometimes I'm not sure that Mezco does that kind of thing all that well, but it looks really good, so I'm impressed, man. Congratulations on the pre-order. Let's see here. Ghost Tab, I've been looking at Fury Toys Monkey King real hard. Yep. Yeah, there's so many of those Sun Wukong guys out there right now, or Sun Wukong. I don't know. Pronouncing is hard. So I want to go back in and I'll show you first off. Let's go to BBTS. For anybody that doesn't know, by the way, when it comes to BBTS, they do have an insane sale going on right now. So I would consider checking them to see if maybe they've got something that you're missing. Now, I did see this. Fortunately, I'm not into Storm collectibles. Although, if they start making their Arena Street Fighter figures and there's a few that look rad, I don't know if I'll go nuts on those or not. But this Zangief, this thing looks really cool. So if there's any Storm fans out there, I think we've got a pretty good one here. But what I was really going for here wasn't so much looking at him or Storm collectibles at all. I just got sidetracked a little bit. I wanted to go to the Holiday Hot 100 real quick. just to see what we've got here. And I'm going to kind of scroll a little slowly. If I see something that catches my eye, I'll probably stop and I'll check out the chat once in a while. Do we have anybody in the chat that really goes nuts for DC Multiverse or Super 7, either of those lines? All right, anyone know if June Jada has ever stated when the Scooby-Doo line might drop for pre-order? I have a buddy down here who's a Scooby fanatic. He needs to know. Man, I have not heard anything, but that's one nice thing about Jada. When it comes to the wallet anyway, they kind of trickle their releases. So it makes it a little easier to catch up. If somebody were, say, to try and catch up on Marvel Legends right now, good luck. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure those pre-orders will come eventually. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from June about those. BBTS is carrying SHF Lord of the Rings. Oh joy, oh rapture. No hunting overseas for these, baby. Yep, they've got those. They've got Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper from SHF. See, ooh, nice. Oh, and a quick question too. So things have been popping up like 5.5-inch kind of Motu style Thundercats figures from Super 7. Is anybody into any of those? Like I'm trying to really kind of get the whole thing going more towards 1/12 and even not talking 1/10 so much, but we'll see. I noticed that, Alex. There's a lot going on there. We might check that out as well. I appreciate you bringing it up. See, Gundam has Joy Toy and Fury Toys, Sun Wukong. Oh, Joy Toy makes one too, huh? I guess that makes some sense. All right. So I'm not getting many bites on Super 7 and DC Multiverse. Vintage Collection. Let's see. Black Series. I'm just looking to see if there's something really cool. The problem is cool is different for some other people. You know, it's different for me than it might be for you guys. Marvel Legends, Scarlet Witch. Let's see. We probably saw a lot of these. In fact, I know we saw a lot of those the other night because I saw that Batman Moth-X figure. Anyway, if you don't know about Big Bad Toy Store's Hot 100 holiday list, go check it out. That's something that's pretty big time. Fortunately, there's nothing that I saw that makes me think, ooh, I need to rethink how I'm going to collect things because it's all got to be budgeted properly. And, you know, if I were to pick something up from here, I might decide, oh no, I need way more from that. Ghost Tab, no Super 7 until it goes on sale. I tend to be that way. And Super 7 doesn't make anything in 1/12. See, 5K is still taking pre-orders on Sun Wukong. Ooh. Dang. Oops. Yep. I 1000% agree. I wish I had money to burn. I do too. That's why it always comes down to decisions. Okay, what is it I really need to check out? What is it that people are going to enjoy seeing? All that stuff. It gets dicey. Like, yeah, there's no reason why I shouldn't be caught up with Jada, and yet I'm kind of going, well, what about this? What about that? You know, it gets crazy. Sorry, can someone in here please talk me into dropping the SHF Star Wars line? Something's got to go because Edge Runners and Lord of the Rings is kicking my butt for all of the foreseeable future. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to try and talk you out of it. Instead, I'm going to say this. We only have seen 2 other Edge Runners prototypes. We don't know how crazy that's going to go. We only have 2 Edge Runners figures up for pre-order. And Star Wars SHF, yeah, there's a few more there. I don't know. Like I'm considering the Star Wars SHF a little bit more, really. So yeah, like I said last time there, Star, I think if it were me, I probably wouldn't get Lord of the Rings, but I know that's heresy to some. So no, I won't help you. Tragic. You guys already know I'm a G.I. Joe collector, mainly Hasbro Joes, and I got all the Mezco Joes. Otherwise, my theme, urban, medieval, sci-fi for dio making, and will cherry pick cool figs. Medieval. So what are you getting that is medieval, Tragic? Are you going nuts on the, I don't know, let's see. I mean, there's Animal Warriors of the Kingdom that I still feel like I need to try out. Obviously, there's Mythic Legions. I think you might be able, I mean, obviously, you can make an argument for any of the Conan lines. You might be able to make an argument for Savage Crucible. And that's just thinking medieval. Sci fi, obviously, is cosmic. Legions. Mr. Madsen, I found the Super 7 Reaction O-Ring Snake Eyes today in the store. They are not as good of quality as Delta 17 or Skeletron. I guess this is terrible, but I guess that probably doesn't surprise me. That's something else that I have to say about this thing, this Van Helsing figure from Monster Force. The quality is, it is exquisite. Like, I just, yeah, here, we're going to make this web, we're going to make this disappear. The weapons are pretty solid. And just stop screen. The weapons are crazy solid. The paint is crazy good. Like the quality of this stuff is, I mean, how many more times can I say crazy? But the quality of this stuff is nuts. And that's something that I think, at least when I watch Super 7 reviews, I don't think too many people sit there and say, yeah, man, this is a quality line. But, you know, I mean, that's just what I've seen as far as reviews are concerned. Maybe others have seen other things, but I wanted to just take that side trip there to talk about that real quick. Now, here we're back with the BBTS. Let's see what we've got in the chat going on. Easiest way to drop Star Wars is to watch the prequels. That did it for me. See, you know the worst part? I was with everybody else that didn't like the prequels. Like, I hated Jar Jar Binks. I didn't like that there was an explanation for force wielders. Like, I didn't like the midichlorians thing. And I remember not being a fan of this stuff way back when. But then when Clone Wars came out, the animated series, it made me appreciate the prequels a little more, to the point where I'm like, well, maybe I could get an SHF Darth Maul or an SHF Mace Windu, you know, stuff like that. So the prequels, I think they've aged better than I thought they would, but only because of the Clone Wars. It's not because I think the movies are necessarily good. It just feels like the Clone Wars filled in the gaps. What will do it, though, Star, if you want to get rid of your love of needing to get SHF Star Wars, you need to go back and watch the most recent episode or the most recent series, of which I will not name because I'll go into a tangent. You watch that and realize that that's Star Wars, and that might do the job for you. Of course, it's Star Wars in name only. That is not. Oh, sequels. Well, after all that, yeah, the sequels will do it too. But definitely, definitely watch that most recent series and you'll realize. See, oh dear. Mesco Conan, Mythic Legions, Frazetta Girls, and Savage Crucible. Nice, nice. Yep, those all work very nicely in that whole medieval thing. I am awfully tempted. You know the worst part when I look at Mythic Legions, when I looked at the double joints and the snake people and all that, I might go all in. And that's a terrible idea. Super 7 is so on to me. Everyone I know that has anything to do with Super 7 either loves them or hates them. They never seem like a top tier company to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And I've never gotten anything from Super 7. So my opinion is pretty irrelevant. I'm just going off of what I hear online. And you're exactly right. You listen online, and some people are like, oh, greatest company ever. And some are like, why do I keep ordering from these people? The quality always sucks. So I don't know where to go. But there's enough saying that the quality's not good, plus the single joints and all that of current offerings, that I'm totally good skipping them. Plus, I do want the collection to get so it's entirely 1/12 scale, which is why I can get away with the animated and the comic turtles, because they are pretty much 1/12 scale from NECA. Star, I'm still primarily an original trilogy fan, and of course, that's pretty much most of the figs that SHF is doing. I know, and I'm there with you. I love the OT. Sci-Fi George, okay. A helmet for the dragon wearing a dragon symbol flanked by AWOC lizardmen. Operation Dragon Force. Oh, Sci-Fi George, you're killing me. I don't think there's anything wrong with that call. Everything you just said sounds awesome. Crap. Alex, pack. Hang on. Send back. See what I missed. See. Money to burn. I don't know. Maybe I said something. Let's see. Maybe it was somewhere and I just read something wrong. My fault, sir. My fault. All right. So we've got this going on. Let me get out of here. We all know now of the BBTS Hot 100 sale. Let us now go to Amazon. This is totally derailed, but I mean, how often can I sit here and just say, I'm lost, guys? I don't even know what to do. And I don't know that everybody else is in that similar kind of position, where you're like, oh man, I got something new. Now, does that mean something else has to go? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see the kind of craziness and the trouble we can all get into this fine evening. Ghost Tab, you are not wrong about the prequels. The sequels did put the final blow in my love of Star Wars. It diminished the whole point of the prequels and original trilogy. Yep. Somehow Palpatine returned. No! Like, you look back at, I don't even want to. Yeah, I can't. I love Star Wars. That's why I can't talk about the sequels. All right. Skew Raider, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. All right, guys, let's see. Here's some one. You know what? Ooh. Let's try this right now. I'm typing Mythic Legions into Amazon, and we're going to see what we get here. Just because this stuff is pretty cool. Now, I don't know as far as prices. Like I said, I'm kind of new to the Legions thing. So I thought I'd type that into Amazon and see what we get. So if anybody sees something, game on and go for it. Let's see this one. See the Grave Ring 6.5-inch action figure. Let's see, Oleg Thygar. So there's a coupon. You can save 25% with the coupon on him. So get him for $40. I'm just looking for things that say sale now. Is that? That's not. Is it? Oh, look at this. All Stars as Har, 3519. Just thought game on. Okay, so here's something that I wouldn't think of. Go to Amazon and look up Mythic Legions. You might get a decent deal. Here's a couple more with a 25% off coupon. Ooh, 25% off for the horse here. Phobos. I'm basically just chatting, trying to figure out what all is cool here, but there's quite a bit here that's I'm kind of surprised by how much there is that's Mythic Legions on here. Anyway, yeah. There you go. I never would have thought of, for whatever reason, I thought of it this time. Skew Raider, Ruby, Ruby, Roo! Excited for more Jada. As am I. I basically have on the counter right now, I have all my Jada and my Declan Van Helsing. Those are the things that are hanging out with me right now. Star, does Jada have a Facebook site? The only news I ever find about them and their current plans are from interviews June gives at cons. I don't know. Let me see here. I'd have to think Jada has a Facebook site, but the thing with, hold on, I'm going to just check my phone since I've got it here. And it would be quicker than doing all the other stuff. The thing with Jada is we have to remember it's first a die-cast car company, which is why Jada Toys, which I think is probably why they kind of sprinkle out their action figure releases. Yep, they do. Go to Jada Toys on Facebook. Ah, there you go. And then the second or third post there talks about David and Lucy. So yeah, they've got a Facebook page that they've got going on. But I don't know as far as toys are concerned or as far as news is concerned how much they actually do. So yeah, there you go. They have the Facebook. Skew, a lot of great deals. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of, like I said, I never would have thought to look on Amazon for Mythic Legions, but now I'm going, huh, do I test drive before I get the double jointed? Probably not. Toy Migos usually gets the scoops first. Oh, that's right. They do come across my feed from time to time. And then I'll be all jealous because they've got things that I haven't seen in stores yet. I did pick up the Olek Thygar 3224. I bought him. Nice, Harry. Nice. Congratulations, sir. Yeah, it's crazy. I truly, hey, Anton, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, truly, I don't know what even made me think, hey, let's type in Mythic Legions. I never would have thought to look there for them. Ooh, 15% plus 25%. Nice. See, those knights look very cool. That looks like a cool ogre. Yep. All of it looks good. It's so sad. Jada has an IG. There you go. You can check that out too, Star. I don't know how much companies, I mean, I use Facebook just for basic posting. I haven't been on there much though. I don't know that it's one of those hot platforms right now. Awesome Van Helsing picks, Dave. Looks fire. I appreciate it, Skew Raider. The figure itself is fire. Like, these things are ridiculous. I can't believe how good they are. The Star Wars prequels did plenty of damage in their own right, explaining the Force in physical terms, no less. Jar Jar self explanatory, immaculate conception, prophecy, no, no, no. Yeah. There is a little bit of that threw me a touch too. It over the years that has bothered me less, but the midichlorians, Jar Jar, like I will never be okay with the fact that Jar Jar is a Star Wars character. Just terrible, probably terrible to say. Like he's Jar Jar is the Duke of Star Wars. Anyone collect Planet of the Apes figures? I don't, Anton. Anybody else in the chat? I bet they'd be sweet figures, though. Like, who makes Planet of the Apes figures, Anton? See, I'd be in for a new Planet of the Apes fig series if one was ever done for the most recent films and done with quality. So, what you're saying, Stars, you don't want Super 7 to do it. I did not say that. That was a horrible, horrible thing to say. All right. Now, as I'm going through here, we've got another ogre. I keep looking to see what has deals, what doesn't. I am honestly stunned that they have so many of these on here. Oh, look at that. You've even got the Headless Horseman. Now, I'm sure that price is going to be crazy. Let's see what we get here. just because they don't have the price under there. It's going to be like $8 million. We have, oh, now you have to see all buying options. 225, like new. So we're not even looking at something that is a new figure. We have a used figure for $225. Oh, man. Well, if you dig that enough, game on. I would maybe if it were the other one, the first one that was released. We're looking at sponsored stuff now. All right. Does anybody get like this kind of thing, by the way? They're not usually crazy expensive, but something like this to stand your figures on. Like I can see, even though it says 1/6 scale, obviously a 1/12 scale figure can stand on this thing. And I can totally see this for some medieval action. So is anybody picking this bad boy up or anything similar to it? And yeah, the Caesar stuff was good. I haven't seen the most recent Planet of the Apes. I need to check that out. Ghost Tab, prequels did ruin Yoda for me. I always saw Yoda as somebody that didn't need to master a lightsaber to be a master Jedi, but was one with the Force. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Yoda is probably just about my favorite characters in Star Wars are Yoda, Vader, and Han. And when I say Vader, I mean Vader. I don't mean Anakin. Even though obviously they're one and the same. And I'm fortunate that it didn't destroy Yoda for me. That would have been all kinds of sadness. Truth hurts. Yes. Anton Migo did, and there was another company that did the modern Planet of the Apes figures. Okay. I'd like those. See, those would be pretty fun in 1/12 scale, I think. See, NECA's still putting out Planet of the Apes figures. I swear I have not seen anything about those. Like, do they do Ultimates versions and I just somehow have missed them all? Anton, always willing to include more in my gorilla army. Gorillas are rad. I hated the way the Jedi Order was treated, like some college university lightsaber 101 advanced levitation. It sucks. Oh boy. Mego is putting out Power or Planet of the Apes figures currently still. Hoping to sell Mezco, Mafex, someone does Planet of the Apes. Imagine Medi, Memory, or Fury. Spiro, Planet of the Apes? Oh, any of those would do a great job. Medi, I want to see the Medi turtles. I want to know what the scale is on those things. All right, I'm here on Amazon. I wanted to show something on Big Bad that I totally forgot. And that's because of these Monster Force figures. And once I find it, you guys don't need to watch me try and dig through to find it. Ooh, already found part of it. Let's see here. Instead, you can just hear me babble while I look for all the things. Is that the other part? That is the other part. Okay. All right, so hang on. I'm going to click on this and then I'll share the screen. These are, see, we'll stop this share. We shall share this now. Check this thing out. Like, I thought of this playset. I thought that it would be fun to get anyway. Like, I've been looking at it for quite a while. But then getting Declan Van Helsing, it's like an underground dungeon sort of deal. I'm like, ooh, this is pretty sweet. And then on top of that, this is part that, let's see if it shows the whole deal. I'm going a little fast. Then you can get a second part and you put them together and you get this crazy dio. It's from a company called 12 World. And right away, I thought, oh my goodness. Once I busted out Declan Van Helsing, I started thinking this thing would be perfect for it. And this right now, this half or part, is 130 bucks. Dios ain't cheap, kids. But then when you get out of this one, let's see. That one's 130. Sorry. I know the computer moves fast. And then here's this one for 115. So what did I say? 130 and 115. So $245 for the combined Dio here. But I think it's perfect for Monster Force. I think there's perfection here for that line. So there's also that. I have to think photography. I have to think lighting. I have to think Dios. It can't just be figures all the time. Anton, you have to see it. I can't talk to you anymore if you haven't seen the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This sounds like my loss. I definitely plan on seeing it. I need to see it. I loved the last ones, like the ones that came on before it. Definitely necessary. See, knew someone was still doing them besides Migos. See the Migos, let's see, Planet of the Apes at the comic shop in town, an hour away. Whoa. I had to have just totally missed all the NECA stuff for those. I heard that Kingdom was terrible. Then I saw it for myself and I thought it was really good. Not the best, but certainly worthy of an addition to the previous films. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I really liked the previous ones too. So I might need to check it out. The movie is fire. I should never sing. That's just a fact. If you love Planet of the Apes, why do I keep thinking Power of the Force, and then I look at it and I'm going, that's not enough. And like Caesar movies, you'll at least semi dig it. Rob's Pippin Road, what's going on? Pippin Road. I just made that wrong. We need Jada to do an Alfred Hitchcock to go with that Scooby Doo set. We need Jada to just do if Mafex did like all the more realistic type properties, Cool Beans, and if Jada did all the cartoony properties, also Cool Beans, we'd pretty much be set. With the exception, of course, of Fresh Monkey Fiction doing their thing. Star, I thought it was far better than what people were saying. Oh man. Skew Raider, awesome. Bring on all celebrities. Mama Cass, Phyllis. I totally forgot about Phyllis Diller and Scooby Doo stuff. That would be a blast. Same with Don Knotts, but I did remember him. Hitchcock, Jerry Reed, Batman and Robin, Globetrotters. I can't wait. They have to do Batman and Robin. And the only reason I say that, Warner Brothers owns Hanna-Barbera. So it makes sense that they would do like one of those cartoon style figures like that. Maybe it branches off and turns into a Super Friends line. Who knows? It's all up in the air with Jada. Like I'm having a blast just speculating about what Jada's going to do. I love that. Yep. Okay, so I did want to show you guys this. I thought it was kind of cool, especially since I was sitting here kind of just admiring the whole Monster Force thing. I thought this thing would be perfect for Monster Force. Now, let me go back. Let's go back into Amazon. I'll catch up on the chat real quick, and then we'll see if you guys have suggestions of things we should look up or deals you've heard about. Let me know. I was sorry to see the demise of my formerly beloved Transformers films. Sniff. A fan can only get kicked in the groin so many times before they admit that it's time to move on. That's tough. I'm kind of going through that with Star Wars right now. And I mean, like, it was either, I believe Miss Pac-Man was my first love, but Star Wars was my first nerd love. And so I'm kind of just sitting there like, man, I don't want it to go away, but I I don't see a road to redemption with what's currently going on right now, you know? Like that's why I'm actually not going to watch Skeleton Crew until I hear from other people whether or not it's good, because I don't want to waste my time, I guess. Although I am looking forward to Favreau's Mando and Grogu movie. Anton, they definitely need to make a seizure by proxy, or a seizure by proxy, a Caesar by proxy action figure. I agree, Anton. I would love a Caesar figure. In 1/12 scale, of course. Skew Raider, yes, Dave, to the branch offs, do it, Jada, Warner Brothers, Hanna-Barbera, Super Friends, great starting point, go wild. I still need somebody to come up with a new SNL line, too. Anton definitely got to do Jan and Gina. Had a big crush on Jenna. Zan and Jenna, or Gina. I can't remember their name. Those were they the ones, the kids with the white shirts or the kids with the purple shirts? Let's see. Also, Don Adams, Sandy Duncan, Sonny and Cher, Tim Conway, Kiss, Dick Van Dyke, Ted Cassidy, and of course, Davy Jones of the Monkees. I do not remember Kiss in there. That is, oh man. This Scooby Doo line could be insane. It's going to be insane before they even get to celebrity stuff. Can you see if there are any Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes figures? Absolutely, Anton. Let's check that out right now. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. See if I can get it to go to toys. All right, let's see if we got something. Well, I clicked toys. All I'm seeing right now are DVDs or Blu-rays and all that. But it took me to all. Hang on. It'll do that from time to time. Makes me sad. Let's try now. Oh, it went back to all again. All right, let's try this. All right, you're looking at we're looking at Funko, baby. And we're looking at old school here. Oh, Caesar 8-inch. What is the this? Yep, this is Mego. That's old school. At least it looks old school. I think Mego's still kicking though, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing much that's as far as like fun, articulated kind of stuff. Ooh, wait a sec. What do we have here? 7-inch scale Caesar. This must be NECA. Although, let's see all buying options. This is going to be pricey. Here we go, kids. $147.94. That's your cheap one. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe these are, oh, yeah. That's with the free delivery. I think it's going in order here. So, yeah, I think your cheap one is $147.94. But it looks cool. It just says 7-inch scale action figure. My assumption, just based on how it looks, the paint job and the sculpt and everything else, this thing has to be NECA. Ooh, wait, I can click the, what do we have here? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Huh. Just says action figure. I have to think we're looking at something NECA style there. I like Bumblebee and Transformers 1. Mr. Matson, those were the two. Like I tried to like Transformers, the first one, the first Michael Bay movie, and I kind of talked myself into it. And now it's just like, nah, Bumblebee and Transformers 1 are in a class by themselves. Well, the only one that's really in a class by itself is 86, but you know. Ghost Tab, so you are not going to watch the Skeleton Crew's Power of Many. Ghost Tab, if you guys come back to me and say Skeleton Crew's actually pretty sweet, Dave, I will check it out for sure. I don't want to. I honestly, a lot of it's time, and if I don't think that it's going to be something that I'm going to enjoy watching, I don't want to waste my time watching it. See, we'll let you know about Skeleton Crew, Dave. Promise. Awesome, Skew. I appreciate it, man. See, Hanna-Barbera Laugh Olympics. Yes, that's we talked about that before. Imagine the cars Jada would put out for that kind of thing. Anton, they were the ones in the purple uniforms with okay, got it. And wore purple gloves. I never knew really what their powers had to do and where did their clothes go. That's there's always something crazy, like kind of Optimus Prime's trailer just showing up out of nowhere. Same kind of deal. Skew, I like Bumblebee 2 and Transformers 1. I hope with Energon Universe Comics as a guide, it will now continue to be glorious. Yeah. Transformers is one of those things that I've always loved. I want it to be awesome all the time. Star, why does it feel so much easier to accept Lord of the Rings as a complete story without any more coming but not Star Wars? I will reject Star Wars with the addition of new crap, but Lord of the Rings is carved in stone with no degradation. That's the deal. Like, had Lucas, so I thought about that with several of the trilogies that were out there, like 70s, 80s stuff, right? I thought with the original trilogy of Star Wars, nothing could touch it. It was perfection. I know some people don't like Ewoks, whatever. For me, I thought it was great beginning to end. Fantastic, right? I thought Indiana Jones was just about the perfect trilogy as well. I thought those two trilogies, I'm good with it. They never need to do anything else. And then the prequel showed up for Star Wars, and suddenly it's amazing what that does. The original trilogy didn't change, but the prequels show up. The original trilogy feels watered down, and now number one by far for me, as far as the trilogy, was Indiana Jones. And then we all know what happened from there. I think the reason Lord of the Rings feels so good and so complete and so perfect is because they haven't gone back to mess with those. And I hope they don't. I hope they don't. Because we see what people do when they get a hold of the old stories now. Like, I genuinely don't want Lucasfilm to touch any characters that we know and love from way back when. Skew, Migo is still kicking and making everything. Man, Migo's crazy. All right, so we saw Caesar here with Planet of the Apes. What do we have? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Okay, here's NECA, Luca. How did have I just totally, no, I mean, considering we're getting all the see all buying options, these are obviously older figures. I just didn't know about them, obviously. They're pretty cool, though. Whoa, wicked guns. I'm sorry, blasters. Star, come on, Jada, grab that Planet of the Apes license. Ooh, definitely NECA. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I was just surprised I didn't see the NECA anywhere on the front of the package. Skew Raider, same blister as Predator figs. NECA Planet of the Apes figs. Got it. Okay. Of course, I haven't gotten a Predator fig either. See, that's the Caesar one I have. Does come with options and lots of hands. Nice. I'm sure. I mean, NECA, that's one thing NECA does, man. They give you all the things. NECA did do Planet of the Apes. Also, eBay has it for 79, better than 100 plus. There you go. All right. eBay might be the better bet. I know sometimes Amazon's higher, sometimes eBay is. You kind of just play the game on both of them to see what you can find. And eBay as a seller kind of sucks, honestly, but eBay as a buyer is pretty good. It's from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Ooh, Caesar. Star Bumblebee is spectacular. It showed Paramount how to do it right, and they still continue to drop the ball. The problem is, so I think part of what goes on, it's the only thing I can come up with because, yeah, people loved Bumblebee and people that saw Transformers 1 loved Transformers 1, but the money doesn't come in because when you start building a story, it just takes longer to do sweet. But I swear, if you start building a story and make people care about the characters, you're gonna hit exponential growth with a sequel of some kind. And studios just don't see that. They keep seeing things like, well, it didn't do as well as we thought, you know? I don't know. I'm not the studio head either, though. So there's plenty they're seeing that I'm not. Thank you, Skew, for watching the Skeleton Crew. I ain't watching them. Hey, now to be fair, some Disney Star Wars hasn't been bad, and maybe Skeleton Crew will be the same. It's tough for me though, as I look at them. I'm like, these are just like space kids. Like they don't look like. They just look like I don't know. Like there's a cul-de-sac. I don't know. It just doesn't look like Star Wars to me. Disney Star Wars exists in a parallel universe, just like original timeline Star Trek does from the Kelvin timelines for me. That's not bad. That's not a bad way to look at it. My only problem is then what happens with, like, there's part of Disney Star Wars that I like, so I guess I'd have to just combine it in my own head. Definitely waiting for Daredevil Born Again. Yes, I cannot wait for that show. That's going to be good stuff. Late to the party. Hi, all. Hi, Nolan. No worries, man. Thanks for stopping in. We're talking about all the things. I wonder if it's because Lord of the Rings is classic literature, whereas Star Wars has always been cinema. I don't know, like people continue to try and, work on other people's stuff. So I don't necessarily think that's it, but it could be. Like people are adapting books all the time into movies. Somebody's got to do it. I'll say Baby Max Rebo, Unarticulated Black Series, and Ollie's for you. I haven't even seen any of the reviews of those figures. Are they not good? Okay. Let's keep going here. Gonna go through. Let's see. NECA blister card. Okay, hold on. What do we have from the good Mr. Hero here? Oh man, I just signed for my ×2 Junkyard Joe. We got snow, and I thanked him for pulling through. 2 Junkyard Joes. Very nice, Tragic. Very nice. I got a touch of snow here, but it was a dusting, really, is what it was. How much snow did you end up with? I mean, I guess the more interesting question is bust open one of those Junkyard Joes and let us know what you're thinking. No, please don't get me tearing up for the atrocities committed against Star Trek. That's one thing that I'm grateful for. I never got so into Star Trek that I know what's going on with all that stuff. Yeah, they're pretty sweet. Yep. I try to avoid the 8-inch, well, and the 7-inch, but that's tough. Ooh, I likes it. Thanos Copter, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Let's see, Space Cul-de-sac. That's what it is. I was like, wait, that doesn't look like Star Wars. What are you doing here? Goes to Bumblebee is like Rogue One. They made a decent movie, and studios think people want to watch the same garbage movie that made the people give up on the property. Yeah. I Rogue One was good Star Wars, I thought. Don't get me started on oh dear. I don't even know anything when it comes to them. Thanos. All right. What do we have here, Ghost have? Some books are too difficult to adapt. Narnia is a good example. They tried to Lord of the Rings it, but it's not the same story, so it ran out of steam quick. It did give us the classic Santa gives guns to kids. Aw, how did I miss that? But that's something else, A lot of times you try to adapt stuff, and like you said, it just doesn't work. Have you seen Unification? It's the true epitaph to Kirk's legacy. It's awesome. 8 minutes. I have not, but again, I don't know my Star Trek so well. Anybody else seen Unification? Let's see here. Picard season 3 was great. Don't even have to watch seasons 1 and 2. Lots of rain, Anton. Not cool. Ooh, yep. Okay. So we've got this going on. So the question of the night is basically, with all the crazy stuff coming out, are you guys rethinking what you're going to go after collecting wise, or are you pretty much staying the course that you've got going right now? And while you're thinking about that, I'll see if I can come up with anything. Oh, you know what? This one's for you, Star. SH Figuarts, Star Wars. Because I think things are a little less pricey right now. Look at that. We can even get the classic Darth Vader on Amazon. Qui-Gon, and I know it's Maul, but man, the Sith do always have cool looks, for sure. Star, I've heard nothing but high praise for Unification. Haven't seen it myself yet. Uh-oh. I had to do it, Star. Let's see. In Narnia, Santa gave bow and arrows to kids, not guns. Sorry, Lion Jesus played by Liam Neeson. Man, did I swear I read that. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, at least. But I don't remember it all that well. Had to be done, Star. Had to be done. Nope, this is straight up Amazon, by the way. I saw your question. Season 3 is fire. Y'all see the new Kirk Spot Generation short film just dropped. Great, googly moogly. Anton, Crackers of Narnia were done better by the BBC. I know nothing. Let's see. It's that? Nope, nope. Like I said, this is the real deal. This is Amazon Us. Yep, it's called Unification. That's what we were talking about. Oh boy. Got me onion cutting. Why is this happening to me? Star, I can't be letting you go out on not getting some Star Wars SHF. That's why. That's why this is happening to you. You need to load up on Star Wars SHF. This is the one I'm curious about, actually. I don't have this A New Hope Luke Skywalker, and it's $64.50, and that's not at all bad for SHF. I have the Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader, and he's pretty cool, but I think the one that we need is the A New Hope one that recently came out. Got Obi, we got Annie, battle droids, more Obis. Look at that. The prices are a lot lower than they used to be. I think people are like, whoa, SHF is getting into reissues. What do we do now? And that was one. What was that? That was from Star Wars Visions, this character here. And I think Visions is one of those things that Disney's done that I thought was pretty good, actually. I liked Visions. Though the one that was the most memorable for me was the black and white Ronin episode. I thought that was just crazy cool. All right, Anton, what do we got? Well, got to remember the movie critics didn't like Star Wars. They didn't even like The Empire Strikes Back at first, and they were all wrong, of course. Well, movie critics aren't, they're not what we call intelligent. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sure there's some very intelligent movie critics out there. I just haven't met one. But then I don't think I've ever met a movie critic, so I can't even sit here and, get all judgy there. I figured I'd be kind and stop on this one for you, Star, because I figure that's not one that you're going to be after. Let's see. SHF Jedi Mind Trick. Jabba's Lab Solo. Oh. Harry, the question is, why isn't there a high-end terms of, let's see, the original series and original cast movies? Ooh, I don't know. Like as far as figures are concerned, you mean? Ghost Tab, I like Star Wars Visions. Have one good story with a set. Yep, that's the one I was talking about. The black and white Ronin. I thought that was very cool. Star Trek. See, you guys start throwing this Trek word around and I get totally confused. You throw wars in with Star and I totally get it. Dave, you do remember that SHF Lord of the Rings is coming soon and they're going to want to be paid for sending me those pics, right? In order to pay them, I'm going to need money on hand. Yeah, but I mean, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? I guess that's kind of preference. For me, it definitely goes Star Wars. Nolan, Star, those Lord of the Rings figures look fantastic. They do. I can't even sit here and say, oh, those suck, man. But yeah, no, I think they look amazing. I'm just not the Lord of the Rings guy. Now let's see. Okay, so basically, I've had my fun picking on poor Star here. We've got all kinds of SHFness going on. Of course, when you're on Amazon, if you do decide to check out some SHF figures, make sure to look and see what the rating is for the sellers, because these things have been around long enough where bootlegs are very possible, if not probable. So if the seller has a really high rating, you're probably getting something original. If not, you're getting a bootleg. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Now I'm just looking at stuff that I'm kind of into. Let's look at Jada Toys action figures. Let's just go with action figure, because I noticed when I was looking at these earlier that the prices are down if you have missed some. Like look at Dalsim right now, $20.07. That's pretty good. Fei Long, $20 even. Chun-Li, $20 even. M. Bison, well, that's a little worse. And then you keep going. Obviously, you're going to have a higher price for Guile. This is Chester. Ryu's still lower. Ooh, they're starting to go up a little bit on, well, this is one of the newer Mega Man figures, though. So, of course, they're going to be up on him. Same with Cammy, same with DJ, same with Hyper Bomb Mega Man. Ken is a little cheaper, but not by much. I know we always end up talking Jada because I'm always interested in Jada. Star, one does not simply mention money around Mr. Miss Stabby or a mere meme voice. One does not. Mr. Stabby is an angry wallet. Anton, well, you just met one and one of the last of the Time Lords. That's right. I forgot. I think you brought that up before, too. With Jada Edge Runners, I can justify going off the deep end, supporting a great company with a great franchise. Bandai have been around for a while. Harder to make that deep end philosophy stick. Not to mention, Jada has been doing Street Fighters for this is the second or third year, and we've only really gotten 9 characters. So my thought is Edge Runners is going to be the same. Like, I feel better about getting a line when the releases are spread out a lot, like something like Star Wars or something like Marvel Legends, where you're getting hit with a wave or two, it feels like every month. That's a lot tougher to keep up with. But with Mythic Legions, while I'm sitting here trying to determine whether or not I need to load up on those, I'm like, it's not like they release a wave every couple months, or a wave or 2 waves every 2 months, or every 1 month. So I feel better about that. And that's why I think Edge Runners probably isn't that big a deal as well. It's not going to break the bank like picking up some Bandai Star Wars figures. Let's see. Oh, poor Star. Sarai. But yeah, so if you guys are looking for some Jada stuff, like I want to catch up on all the Jada, right? So I don't have Booberry. I don't have the Flamin' Hot Chester. I don't have Fireman, but he's a little cheaper. I actually do have this Mega Man on order. So hopefully he's shipped fairly soon. That's right, gang. I'm not kidding. I'm loading up on Jada. If you see it and it's Jada, I'm gonna have it in the collection. Now, then you've got these. Check this out. If you guys missed out on the Universal Monsters style stuff, 1942 for the Wolfman, 23.98 for Drac, 1999 for the Invisible Man. So, like, you can go back and still get a lot of this stuff for reasonable prices. That's one of the things I love about Jada. They don't make their stuff so exclusive that you just can never find it again. Star. What do we got here? Not to mention the glorious fact that Edge Runners figs are a fraction of the price. Exactly. They come out, they're spread way out, and they're just not going to cost near as much. And what do we know about Lord of the Rings? We know there's, what's the, dang it, this is how bad I am. I know Frodo, Aragorn, Legolas, and the ring guy, the little creepy ring dude. Is that Smeagol? Yeah. Anyway, we know they're coming, and those will sell well. But when's the next batch of Lord of the Rings coming? We have no idea. And Bandai does seem to spread out their lines, so you probably don't have to worry about spending a ton of money every year on Lord of the Rings. Start Gollum. Why could I not think of Gollum? Thank you, sir. Let's see, that is awesome. Whoop. Got push buttons like that $17 chainsaw man that's out too. Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to call this one at about 8:20, only because I'm kind of tired. You might not be able to tell too much, but yeah. And again, this is me just kind of thinking out loud, trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do in the future when it comes to the figures. I've got some big stuff coming up here shortly, so I should be able to swing a little more stuff, but I got to figure out how exactly I'm going to plan it perfectly. Harry, Jada Toys, Bella Lugosi Dracula is 12 at Raw. Are you kidding me? Oh, awesome, Harry. I might need to check out Ross. I appreciate that, man. Star can't beat those prices. Yeah, I mean, what Jada's putting out for the quality is insane. I'm telling you guys, truly, if you haven't tried Monster Force and you're not like me, I do kind of worry about dipping into lines I haven't been into yet. But if you're not like me, I would give Monster Force a try. Like I'm not kidding at all. I think if you're into the photos, you should definitely give it a shot. Pun. Frankenberry and Chocula were at Ross too. I will have to check out Ross. Grazie for the heads up, guys. I haven't seen any of those things at there or Ollie's, but I haven't been into a Ross in a while. There's a new comic book series that talks about Frankenstein's monster and about the son who discovered Dr. Frankenstein has stolen his father's body. Great comic. Ooh, that might be sweet. Star, on top of that, not only are they less expensive, but their quality is fantastic. These are not cheap figs, just inexpensive. Absolutely. Like there's not a single Jada figure I bought where I'm like, well, I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Sci-Fi George, in the future, you'll think about what you did in the past. This is fair. This is fair, Sci-Fi George. I have done this. Oh dear. And then I'll worry. I'll be like, why did I do that? Found Chocula. No Frankenberry yet. I'll have to check out Ross. I know I haven't seen anything at Ollie's. And Ollie's is closer to where I look for a lot of stuff. But on the other hand, I think Ross is really close to that too. For whatever reason, I just don't walk into Ross all that often. But yeah, all right, guys. So has anybody thought of what? Tell you what, let's try this real quick before I go. What are your focuses as far as action figures are concerned going into 2025? Because we're about there, which is freaky to think about. Skew Raider, Sci-Fi George, wherever you go, there you are. Oh, God. Yep. Been a while since I even thought about Buckaroo Banzai. Oh, dear. But yeah, let's see here. Monster Force, Reuse, Chester. There's a lot coming here shortly. I was looking at my list of figures that I have on order right now, like things that were in stock when I ordered. Not so much the pre-orders. I've only got 3 things on, well, 6. 6 pre-orders of things that are supposed to come out in 2025. 4 of those are Vipers. And then the other 2 are the SHF Yoda and the Moth-X Rogue. I still need to make adjustments there because I got a pre-order Jubilee. Have an awesome and safe Thanksgiving, everybody. Anton, you too. I hope you enjoy. Eat plenty of all the stuff that you dig. Personally, I've always been a fan of Thanksgiving pizza. Harry, slow down my toy buying in 2025. That's probably a good call for all of us. And yet, here I am looking at it going, well, I can't do things for Toypixx if I slow down. There's too much good stuff to focus. That's so tough, Thanos. That's where my problem is it used to be there weren't tons of photogenic figures, so I could break lines up in that way where I didn't have to worry about a lot of them. Now they're all vying for wallet share, and that makes me sad. That's right, wallet share. I think I heard that in some corporate thing one time. Sci-Fi George, where we're going, we don't need roads. Oh, Doc Brown. That's right. I know a quote once in a while. I'm not entirely a bad nerd. I've got so many figs ordered. Now the real work starts. How am I going to pay for those? Well, let's see. You could sell your other stuff. That's always bad. You're like, but what do I sell? Thanos Copter, but I'm getting most of the third-party Warcraft stuff. That stuff looks ridiculously good, man. It's so good. Like I haven't even planned for the Meditoys Turtles. I want to know what their height is before I go too nuts. But they look like we shouldn't miss them. Like they look amazing. Oh, nice. A calzone on Turkey Day sounds amazing, Sci-Fi George. That really does sound amazing. See, Skew, Jada, Classified, Foray, Fury, Medi, Action Force, some Legends, Brutal Realm as a focus. Happy holidays, y'all. You too, Skew. Don't worry. We'll be back chatting more. I'm thinking, guys, now that next week is Turkey Day, we'll do the Monday live stream, and then we'll probably end up doing the like a Thanksgiving live stream on the Wednesday before, just because I figure everybody's going to be wanting to hang out with their families on Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Also, anybody that's on the Patreon that hasn't submitted in the Grande tier or higher that hasn't submitted a photo for this month's photo contest, where the winner gets a classified road pig and raucous, then feel free, go ahead, enter. You send those submissions to toypixx@gmail.com. So if you're at the $5 tier or above, game on, send me those submissions. Let's have some fun. And you have until November 30th to make that happen. And then we'll vote sometime in early December. So yeah, where am I going to put these without the wife blowing up at the side of that mountain? Let's see. There's always, you could tell the wife, let's see, Star. Okay, I'm trying to think of something you could pull off. You could say, hey, look, I need to get this stuff. If I don't, then I'll need to just get a storage unit, and that'll cost even more. So really what you're doing is saving money. That's how you frame that stuff. I'm thinking with all these ideas I keep giving you, I probably never want to meet your wife because she might be sitting in line next to Mr. Stabby. And a couple of AWOCs, Mamba especially. Yes, Mamba's the elephant, isn't it? Let's see. Yep. Barbie figs in those hills. OCD and figure collecting is not a good combo for me. Challenging times ahead. That's one thing though that I think helps me. I haven't been diagnosed with OCD or anything. For me though, once I started getting rid of legends, it was easy to just get rid of all the legends. So like I've got a couple that I knew my life would be forfeit if I got rid of, but it starts and then you're good to go, I think, if you're like that. Got to cover that hill somehow before she walks in. I'm telling you, you're saving her money by not getting a storage unit. Yep, biggest knitting yarn pile ever. Oh, man. Star, I can take her. Just don't want to hear it for the next year. That's fair. That's fair, Star. I understand that. All right, guys, that's what I've got for this one. So, as always, thanks a ton for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Let's see one more here. She doesn't seem to understand these edge runners. You'll get there. You'll get there for. All right. Anyway, folks, again, thanks as always for stopping by. I always appreciate it. Hope everybody has a blast. If you're not here Monday and you can't make Wednesday, happy Turkey Day. Eat all the good things. Steal away from the family if you need to get food you really like. Personally, I don't like turkey. But anyway, that's what I got for you. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. This is the awkward part. I hit